One day Jesus, peace be upon him, and his followers were passing through a village. The people in the village were poor and tired. A man from the crowd came forward and said angrily, "If you are truly a prophet, why don't you help us? Why doesn't God save us from this hardship?" Jesus looked at him with a kind smile and said gently, "God is always with us, but sometimes we move away from him. If you want God to change your life, you must take the first step." The man asked, confused, "What can I do? I have nothing." Jesus looked at the crowd and said, "Everyone has something to share, even if it is just kindness." Then Jesus asked the people to bring whatever they had. One person brought bread, another brought fruit, and someone else brought a small jug of water. When everything was gathered, Jesus shared it among the people. The villagers, who rarely helped each other, suddenly saw a big table full of food. The man who had complained began to cry and said, "I understand now. God has always given us blessings, but we were keeping them from each other." Jesus smiled and said, "Whenever you act with kindness and work together, God's blessings will fill your lives." From that day, the people in the village started to share and help each other. Instead of complaining, they chose kindness and teamwork. The message spreads. Later, an old man from another village came to visit. He said, "How are you so happy and peaceful? Here, in our village we work hard, but life is still difficult." A villager replied, "We were like you once, but Jesus taught us that kindness and unity bring blessings. We share everything, even small things, and God has blessed us." The old man asked, "Did everything change just by being kind and sharing?" A woman from the village said, "Kindness was the beginning. When our hearts were filled with love, we worked harder, helped each other, and used God's blessings wisely. That's why our lives changed." The old man returned to his village and shared this message. If you want God's blessings, start with yourselves. Be kind, stop being selfish, and share what you have. The message spread, and as Jesus said, kindness and unity became a light that brightened many lives. Jesus reminded his followers, God's blessings are in your love and kindness to one another. When you love, God is with you. The old man's village was struggling with constant arguments and mistrust. After hearing the message from the first village, he gathered everyone and shared what he had learned. We have been living in fear and selfishness, thinking there isn't enough for everyone. But Jesus taught that when we share and care for one another, blessings grow. Let's try it together. At first, some people were doubtful. They asked, "How can we share when we barely have enough for ourselves?" But the old man encouraged them, saying, "Start small. Share whatever you can, even if it is just a kind word or a little help." One woman brought extra bread she had baked. Another man offered to help fix a broken roof for his neighbor. Slowly, the villagers began to work together, sharing their time, skills, and food. A new beginning. Within weeks, the atmosphere in the village began to change. People smiled more, worked together, and supported one another in difficult times. Where there had been fear and mistrust, now there was friendship and hope. One day, a child came running into the village shouting, "Look, the fields are full of crops." Everyone rushed to see. It was true there. Harvest was more abundant than ever before. The villagers realized that their unity and kindness had brought blessings, just as Jesus had promised. The old man gathered everyone and said, "Do you see? God has always blessed us. but it was our love and teamwork that allowed those blessings to grow. The message of love. The villagers decided to visit other towns and share what they had learned. They told the story of Jesus and how kindness, sharing, and love could transform lives. In every village they visited, people listened and began to practice kindness and unity. Slowly, the message of Jesus spread far and wide, touching the hearts of many. Jesus' teachings reminded everyone of one simple truth: when you love one another, God's light shines in your hearts. And the world becomes a better place. Thanks for watching. Subscribe my channel